What is going on, Lucid fans? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to give you some good highlights from the actual launch event, go over the good, the bad, and the ugly, and what we can take away from all of this as far as an investor viewpoint. Before I get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. I greatly appreciate that. And with that, let's get right to it. So in general, I think Lucid did do a very good job of the actual laying out the launch event and showcasing all the errors, more specifically the pier. They really did do a very good job of laying out the performance of each. And like I've been saying in several videos, majority of the current reservations are for the pier. So the fact that they're really focusing on that and they started off with that is a very big, exciting thing. And they did also launch a new color, Fathom Blue, I believe that is. So this is an absolutely beautiful color. So Eric did do a very good job of, like I said, laying out all the very good performance of all the vehicles. I did learn something as well. So they are the most aerodynamic vehicle as far as sedan out there. So with a coefficient, I believe they said of 0.197 of coefficient drag. So definitely very good. And even more so as well, they did say they're not going to stop there. They're still going to try and reduce it. So I think that's a very good telltale sign of a very good company to always strive for the best. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. But when it comes to it though, not necessarily a negative or a positive, I was under the impression that this actual event was going to be live, not pre-recorded. So again, let me know your thoughts if you felt the same way, because I think the way they were really marketing it was saying join us, as far as meaning it being a let's all do this together kind of situation. So again, it is what it is. Still was very well done. Clearly they spent a lot of time and resources on this actual, I believe is around 37-minute video. So I think they did do a very good job. And so like I said, outside of all the errors, they did go over the touring, the pier. The touring, I did learn something new as well. So as far as the roof, it is the standard aluminum roof, but they have the option to have glass. So I didn't know about the glass component, but in this actual event, if you are a very big Lucid fan, they did just, for the most part, just reiterate a lot of the performance that we already knew. So again, it is what it is, not necessarily so much as far as new learning or new announcements per se. They did talk on the gravity. I personally am a little bit more let down by the gravity, because I was under the impression it was going to be not just a 2-minute video on potentially just sneak peeks of it. I thought it was actually going to be showcased in this kind of format. So again, it is what it is. I think when it comes down to the pure, like I said, that is the majority of the current reservations, but the gravity is going to be the bread and butter of Lucid. More so even up until mid-decade 2025, when they do have lower priced vehicles and things like that. The gravity is going to be their biggest moneymaker. So I personally would have been very much excited for this, or potentially even just some positive news as far as them opening up reservations as a very fun surprise to investors. That would have absolutely appreciated the price pretty significantly today. But unfortunately, it didn't necessarily happen. But one aspect that I did want to bring up that they didn't really touch on, so this was basically the PR that was coming out from Lucid. So they did talk on how we were going to be hearing about the touring, the pier, which like I already mentioned, they did cover. Also give an update on the Project Gravity, but as you can see here, followed by business announcements. So it goes to show that that was a little bit more separate from the air pier and also them talking on the gravity. As far as, to be honest, I did replay this twice, one in preparation for this video and obviously the other, the original. They didn't talk on any business announcements. So a little bit more let down in that regard, unless I potentially missed it. Again, I could be completely wrong about that, but keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor. These videos are for entertainment purposes only. So let me know your thoughts on that, and maybe if there was some business announcement that I did potentially miss, that I don't know. But still, I think I was a little bit more anticipating them opening up some possible new early vehicle or about the reservations. Like I said previously as well, there was one aspect that I did want to bring up. I did actually hear about this exact same thing prior to the launch event, which in reality could be seen as a little bit more of a negative. But I'm going to bring this up, play this 20-second aspect of this video and just briefly talk on this. So I'm just going to get right to it.
Costs of the way we've scheduled production, those who want to purchase a Grand Touring or a Grand Touring Performance now, or to upgrade their existing order to either of these models, can expect to take delivery in a quicker than expected time frame.
Okay, so again, that could be seen as a very positive thing if you just heard that information. But from several different sources, in fact, that have unfortunately canceled their orders for various reasons, they did get actually a call from Lucid itself, from an advisor, incentivizing them, saying that they can get the old pricing before the actual price did in fact increase. So that did happen. I believe it was May the 30th or somewhere around that time frame. I believe it was June the 1st as far as a deadline. So they were able to get the old pricing and also get upgraded to one of these vehicles if they were to kind of go back and not cancel their order. Keep in mind, this cancellation occurred roughly about 3 or 4 months ago. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. I personally see that as a little bit more of a negative, that they are possibly struggling to have all of these fulfilled as far as deliveries. I know they did say in the Q3 earnings that they did have a lot of vehicles sitting around, potentially because of lack of supply for car haulers, but it might be because they don't actually have any buyers. That is one thing that just went through my head. Of course, these videos, I'm just saying it how it is interpreted by myself. Of course, I could be completely wrong and maybe just jumping to a little bit more conclusions, but that was a little bit more of a red flag that I did previously hear, like I mentioned. I didn't necessarily bring it up in any other videos because I didn't find it the right context, but the fact that Peter did say the exact same thing in this actual launch event, it stood out to me. So I figured I would bring that up. But like I said, in general, I think was very well done, the overall launch event, that they showcased a lot of the good aspects of Lucid, and goes to show that reasons why we're investing in Lucid is still very much valid as of right now. So like I said, I'm going over the good, the bad, and the ugly. When it comes down to the ugly, just to recoup potentially about this whole aspect, like I just mentioned, they didn't necessarily touch on the business announcements and the fact that maybe it wasn't actual live. Outside of that, it was very, very well done. And if someone was to see this actual launch event, it was very, very appealing. And I think they did do a very good job of all this. So hats off to you, Peter and Michael. Definitely continue on doing your amazing job. But it is what it is at this stage in the game. I did actually do a poll as well on Twitter just to get people's perception of how the launch event did go. So as you can see, what do you think of the Lucid launch? It was amazing. So 41% of you think that it was fairly well done. I thought it would be live. I just figured I'd throw that in there. 10% people thought that it was okay, a good amount, and I was disappointed. So roughly about a quarter of the individuals were very much disappointed by this. Unfortunately, I don't really have any more context. So if you are one of the individuals that was possibly disappointed by this, let me know in the comments below. Definitely could be a very good reason. And also in yesterday's video on Lucid, there was a little bit more of a surprise that I was under the impression that they were going to address. And as you can see here, I did do, like in case you guys did watch this video, there was this little snippet. And as you can see, it was a potential, looked like something on a table, or possibly there was a lot of different people, maybe some people saying an ATV or whatever it is. They didn't address this whatsoever. So I was under the impression that this aspect that was underneath the tarp was going to be this business announcement or something along those lines. So like I said, about the little bit more of a correlation there, just wanted to bring that up as well. So let me know your thoughts on Lucid. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. I greatly appreciate that. If you do like my channel, want to support the growth, take a look at my memberships. Link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. With that said, appreciate you guys watching. Let's all make a lot of money on Lucid.